Hello, you speakers. I'm Katza.
I'm George.
We are so happy to welcome our sales team mentor who happens to be a successful sales trainer. And of course, from whom we have learned so much in the past few months. I truly believe that if you want your business to be successful, you will invest in training for your sales team, right, Jesus?
Well, I hope so. Even you do not invest, you look to train them and to help them. And thank you for receiving me here, Getza and George.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
So, we are so lucky to have Jesus here. I'm gonna tell our audience just a little part of his bio, because if I say everything, I think the podcast will be like an hour. So I'm just gonna mention some of the things that Jesus has done. And well, number one, he's got over 12,000 hours of outbound sales calls experience, 1,500 hours of sales through video calls, right? Countless hours of training, motivating, supervising, and leading sales teams. He's got experience in retail, sales forecasts, direct sales and multi-level marketing, tourism sales and negotiating, telemarketing and video sales, and many, many more things that he's involved in all the world of sales. Okay, so that is so awesome.
Yes, awesome bio. Thank you. So, thank you, George. All right, Jesus. Please stay stay tuned. Today you're learning the ABC of sales. Welcome to another episode of the You Speak English podcast. Thank you for hitting that play button and subscribing to our podcast channel. Remember, you can download the script for this podcast. The link is in the description box below.
All right, okay, so let's get right into the main topic.
Right.
Okay, so we have a couple of questions for you today, Jesus. So, since technology is advancing at a rapid pace, and after COVID, so much in the world of business and sales has changed. In this context, Jesus, what is the ABC of sales?
Well, if we consider that it is not only that the environment or the people have changed on this after this situation that we had in the COVID, we gotta take in consideration that people right now is more sensitive about technology and more sensitive about the human relationship, right? So one of the features we have to be taking care of as people on sales, that is people on communication, on people having relationship with prospects or actual clients that we want to have keep on having recurrent purchases or sales, as you want to see it, is that we have to understand that they have more information. They are or what they are more informed about what you offer and what your competition offers, and that sometimes they know more about the ones that you consider or you don't have an idea that they could be your competition, but that they will be in the future. So one of the details that now you have to put a lot of attention while being on sales is to understand what is the info that your client has. And that is going into the point that if you are really interested on having the business with the people nowadays, is the best point is if you are the one that has the control of the info that they get. What I mean by this is if the people is going to be doing the research, okay, about the product, about the company, about you as a salesperson or as an owner, okay, and you don't control the info that they receive of you, okay, someone else is going to be managing that, okay, someone else is going to be taking the control. So if you allow your competition to be speaking about you and you don't put enough information to clear that out beforehand, then a lot of different things are going to happen, but the people to except by buying the people from you. Okay, so one right now that is a very important point is how you manage your corporate brand and your personal brand, right? So you gotta be able to control what comes out right there. Like right now, you are listening to us. You're here because you are on YouTube or you are on Spotify or LinkedIn or wherever that you are. Okay, so you are the one that needs to have the control of the info that gets to the client. So because there is they say, okay, well, how comes that people didn't buy from me? Well, it could be because they receive an info that you didn't manage, you didn't have control on it. Okay, so they went to buy from your competition. So it doesn't matter how good you are, it doesn't matter how good is your product, it doesn't matter how many years or how long you've been on the market. If the people, if you don't have the chance to even have the customer in front of you or the prospect, okay, just because you didn't control what comes before they are in front of you. So that's something that you gotta handle right now. So be very but very careful of what's on the social networks or what is on Google, what is there that the people see before they get to you. And then if they get to you, to know exactly what is that they found or what they saw. And that's the main point. And the extra one is to know what's around with your competition. So you know how to speak to the people and what is that they are, what is that there is in their mind, to understand their perceptions and all the perspectives that they are having beforehand. They are in front of you.
Wow,
Okay.
this is so useful. Wow.
It is.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'm going to take notes.
I am taking notes.
All right, Jesus. Okay, thank you so much, Jesus. Hey, there's I know there are many things, that can be answered, but in your opinion, what are the main do's and don'ts in the world of sales if you really want to be successful?
The do's, always know what you're looking for or where you want to get, right? Is there's so many people that they just go out to do their job themselves, and they don't know exactly what they are looking to achieve, right? They are just flowing with the um, goals or with the objectives that their boss or their company or even the ones that are in that they work on themselves, they are just going by the flow of the moment, right? And that's one of the main uh, problems that the salespeople have, that they don't have an exactly goal of where they want to get. Because if you have a goal, okay, it's gonna be much easier for you to control what comes around with the negative things about sales, right? If you know exactly where you want to get, what you want to achieve, and if you are totally convinced of how you're going to feel once you get to that goal, it's going to be almost or practically impossible that anyone stop you. Because in the world of sales, something that usually people do not speak about, not even the sales trainer, not the managers, or not even human resources when they're going to hire you for the position, they do not tell you that 90% of the time on the sales job is a gray area. I mean, the 90% of the time is you're going to be that on those moments where people tells you no, where you're gonna feel in rejection, when you're gonna be receiving objections, where the people is gonna be ghosting you, when you're not going to receive that payment that the clients already promise you, or that the purchase order that they put they will never deliver. So that 90% of the time you're going to be hustling, right? So,
Yeah.
uh, but if you have goals, that's going to be much easier for you. So the do is always have a goal I mean, I know I'm not saying that just only one, right? But to have a main goal, so you have your small objectives. And I mean, the goals of the company are one thing, right? But the ones that you, as a human being, as a professional, okay, you gotta be convinced of what you have, and that the company you're working with, or the product, or the environment you are at, that is gonna be your vehicle to find, or to reach that goal that you're looking for, right? So to be able with that to have the inspiration, and not only depending of the motivation, or the shallow motivation that you can find, or to depend of someone else to motivate you. So you gotta have your goal that gives you the inspiration to overpass with all of that, those objections on of that 90% of the great area
Yeah.
of the sales, because just 10% is that celebration that I reached the goal. Yes, I'm the maximum. Yes, I made it. Yes, I received the commission. Just 10%, all 90% is not. So let's do, and don't is do not depend on the others. Is always look to have control on what's coming or what's happening. Right? As I was saying just a little earlier, is don't let the time to be the one that cure things. I mean, it's not like in the spiritual life or the sentimental life. It's okay, okay, time cure the problems, or you gotta give it time.
Mm-hmm.
Here on sales is, if you don't do take control. I mean, if you don't take control, someone else will do. Okay, is not bad to let go sometimes, but not all the time. So don't what I mean is, when you have an objection, when someone tells you no for on a sale, or they don't buy from you, eh, take responsibility. That no comes because of you. If you don't take responsibility, or you say, oh, the client didn't buy because he doesn't have money. Okay, that client didn't buy because it was not the time, or that client is because he didn't need it. Okay, yeah, perfect. But it's your responsibility to find prospects that have the money. It's your responsibility to find clients that really have the need. It's your responsibility. This. 99% of the time is responsibility of the salesperson. I mean, you as someone that is as a sales representative, executive, or however you want to consider yourself, okay, to find the right person, the person that has a need, the person that has the money, the person that has the time. You are the one that has to build that value. So do not depend on others, or the environment, or the government, or the
Yeah.
season. Okay, look yourself to be the one. So don't depend on others. If I can tell something really short, I will be that do and that don't.
That's so valuable what you mentioned about with these two parts about the do's and don'ts. I think that's when you mentioned about those short-term goals, and it could be dangerous, right? When somebody achieves a sell, they could just say, okay, I made this sell, and this what comes after, maybe it can come to a part where they relax more because they just landed a good sell for the month. But what about the rest of the months? And this could be a dangerous area, like you mentioned, Jesus. If they don't really have a burning desire of what they really want to achieve, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So yeah, I totally agree with you, Jesus.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Or it goes to the extreme. Excuse me, Katsa. It goes to the extreme that they celebrate too much that
Yeah.
sales, that achievement that they have. They celebrate too much, and they lose that flow to continue on selling. Right? Is
Yeah.
because when you got to that sale, you gotta use that vibe, that inputting, that mojo, to keep on going for more sales. But there's a people that, okay, they got a sale, they celebrate too much. Okay, and they spend time that they could use to keep on going, to have your pipeline with filling it with prospects, right? Or the opposite way, when they don't get a sale, when they get rejection and that, and they take too long for how do you say
To pump
duelo?
up.
I mean,
Oh
is
yeah.
they take to, oh well, he promised me to buy your house, oh, and they start and they keep on that time just like in the funeral, okay, is just complaining this and this and this, and then the time that they spend suffering and complaining about it, it creates something very negative. So it's gonna be easier to get ahead on the next positive, so to get on
Totally.
the vibe, right? So
Totally.
and then you go even low, I mean deeper on that whole uh, just doing and going even deeper and deeper because you're complaining, instead to keep on going
Complaining.
and look for the yes instead to be crying all the time for that no. So the no is gotta be part of the of the everyday thing. And well, you say no, okay, perfect. Is there a possibility to change that for a future yes or for an immediate yes? You look for it, and if not, well, go for the next one. I mean, go for the
Next.
next. Go for the next.
Totally. Kat, are you gonna ask something?
No, I was not gonna ask. I was just agreeing with his.
Oh,
Yeah, that's all right. Thanks.
all right. Good thing I'm recording this. I'm gonna have to go over this and review it and apply it myself.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Is it, Jesus? Is it possible to? I don't know. Is it possible to prepare yourself? Not you, but a salesperson or somebody who wants to. I think we're all salespeople in the end. Is it possible to prepare yourself psychologically and emotionally to transfer, to exude that self-confidence and conviction to the person that you're trying to help or sell, or even to your team, to the people around you?
There's one maybe not a rule but a ritual that I always talk about with teams that I've been working with people that have the possibility to train, and with this kind of expositions like the invitation that you are giving me. And is the first thing you gotta do, or the main thing you gotta do as a sales professional, is to make your first sale. How do you make your first sale? The first sale that you make, that is the most important, is to sell yourself. You gotta buy your product first. And I'm not saying buying that, putting the money and receiving the product. Is I mean about your mirror has to believe you. Okay, you gotta be able in the morning or even the night before to be in front of the mirror while you're shaving, or the girls when they are doing that nice thing that they do with their eyelashes, or to doing their hair. You gotta be selling yourself. You gotta be sure before you try to convince someone else about something. You gotta be convinced yourself first, right? Because you're believing. If you really believe on what you are saying to someone else, that person, you're not gonna need to convince that person. That person is gonna be convinced by I don't know how you say that, but in English, to convencimientos. What you really believe is gonna make the others to believe, right?
Yeah.
And I put the example, just if you just stay on the middle of a I don't know, in the middle of the park, and there's people around, and then you start looking up, and you're pointing with the finger, oh yeah, wow, yeah, that's great, oh wow. The people is gonna look up, even you don't tell them, okay, hey, look up, guys, there's something in here. If they say, oh wow, or even they see that you are looking up and you smile, even if you don't speak, and you're looking up and you're smiling, that people is gonna look around, and is gonna look up, and they're gonna smile to see and trying to find out what's going on that you're doing, right? Or how comes that you're smiling, or what is that you're speaking about, because you are convinced, and you are just that source of how do you say the word, convencimiento, uh,
Yeah,
of
it's if there's not, you can say just convincing, that you're very
you are
convincing.
you're the source, okay, that source that really are sparkling that convincing situation, right? It's
Mhm.
exactly the same on sales, right? And remember, if I put another example, remember the kids when you take a little kid to the grocery store or to the supermarket, okay, and he's convinced that he wants uh, that candy, that chocolate, or that I don't know, that little ball, okay, he's gonna look at your eyes, and he's gonna just having on the hands and looking at you with those eyes and the smile as okay, making it really hard for you to say no, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's exactly the same. So before anything, before to be in front of a client trying to convince them for something, sell yourself first. If you sell yourself first, you're gonna be emotionally, yeah, uh, 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 or you're gonna be this source of this good vibe about what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, that this, I mean, sounds like very sentimentally thing, but yeah, there's gonna be
Oh,
certain situations that you're really convinced. The people is gonna ask you, okay, how comes that you are like that? Okay, they pay you that well that you are that convinced. Okay, but if you're saying by your own story that you are feeling it, that you bought it before you offer it to them, that you have the experience about it. Okay, so they're going to be easier to say yes to you even before you try to sell them, because they're gonna see that you really are convinced of what you are. And
yeah.
if for whatever chance or for whatever situation you're not that convinced, learn how to act pretty well. I mean, becoming the best actor possible. That,
Mm.
and that,
Wow.
Mm.
that will be the not that good situation, but well, is
Mm.
be the best actor you can be. So this is believe it until you achieve it.
Yeah.
So
Fake it
So
till
believe
you
it
fake
make
it
until
till
it.
you
you achieve
make
it.
it.
Okay,
Yeah,
this
that
is what I'm saying, that fake until you make it, but in this case I said believe it until you achieve it. So and you're gonna be able to transmit that, to have that
Right.
that
Right.
a vibe, that mojo that is gonna make the other people feel even before you try to sell or you do a great pitch of that. Because if you have the great script or great pitch, but you're not convinced about that speech or about that script, and you're not convinced and you're just speaking like a robot, well, one day before you see it, in artificial intelligence is gonna be getting your job.
it's already doing it, I think.
Mm. Yeah, in so many cases.
But
In so many
Jesus,
cases.
what you mentioned is just it's awesome because it's so true that people or some salespeople are very transparent. And just like you said, they can have a great speech, they can have the even probably a good product. But if the salesperson is just presenting it to you or talking to you about it like something monotonous or something like it's part of the routine, you're not going to be interested in even listening to that person. So I totally agree with what you're saying. You really have to be convinced of what you're selling, believe in it, and also try to help people by letting them know what you're already convinced about. So that's great.
Yeah, that's great. All right. All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Jesus, for your enlightening. Thank you for your visit to the You Speak podcast. This must have been extremely beneficial for all of us
Oh yeah.
listening to you, and absolutely any sales team out there who may be listening. We will make sure that you get all access to this podcast. And it's time to wrap it up, guys. We have to say goodbye and close the podcast. Is there
All
any final words that you would like to say?
George.
Yes.
You,
Oh well.
yes, yes,
All right.
George and
Yeah. Well,
Jesus and George.
I am just in awe by thinking of everything that Jesus just said,
Mhm.
because I do read a lot. I do listen to lots of audios on different topics of sales and motivation and improvement. John Maxwell, Tony Robbins. I'm recently reading a book on atomic habits, and I always love to listen to experts. In this case, Jesus, and I appreciate so much what you shared with us
Oh, yeah.
So valuable. This is so valuable. I appreciate so much. And I hope that we can continue having you whenever you're not that busy with us one more time. Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely. You're welcome back.
we can always make time, like when they say the clients, the clients are always busy. Well, but they will always make time when something is interesting for them, and it gives you are able to transmit the value that they're gonna receive from that time that they're gonna spend with you.
You're right.
Also, I want to say thank you, and well, just invite everyone is please don't use your prospects as your time to practice. You gotta practice before you are in front of the people. So you gotta look as a professional, because every time the people is looking to be in front of professionals that really care about helping them to get what they want. And if you as a salesperson want to get what you want, it's just necessary to find enough people to help them to get what they want, because that's what everybody does. We are selfish, of course, and the client is more selfish even. He just wants to have a benefit. So you just have to be that person that helps them and make their life easier for them to get it. And that's it. Okay.
Mhm.
So
All
thank you for the
right.
invitation, Katza, George,
Thank
people
you.
from USPK.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And this is it for today. Thank you to all of our audience out there. And remember to subscribe to our channel. And if you like this podcast, of course, we're going to ask you to share it with all your friends. You should also check out our YouTube channel where you can get this podcast video version. And for sure, you're more than welcome to comment on our videos. You can also visit our website where you will find articles about English practice and learning. And remember, perfect practice
Makes perfect.
All right. Until next time, thank you, Jesus. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.